All right. So, all right. So the first video, what did it, what did the, oh, who's this? Oh, she's back in. All right. Admit. Okay. So what did the first video, talk about?
The matter one.
Yes.
The first video talked about like atoms, molecules, and matter.
Good. All
Mostly
right.
about mostly about molecules and atoms.
All right. Cool. So let's talk about that concept right there. Okay. So let's do that. So they were talking about this thing called matter. Good. All right. Okay. And okay, here we go. Jacob, go ahead and unmute yourself and turn on your camera too. Okay. So matter. All right. Perfect. So what did we learn about matter from that video?
That matter is a non-living and living thing.
Very good. So they're very good. So we non-living. Good. Non-living. Non-living and living thing. Okay. All right. So there's two types basically. Good. All right. Now, okay, Jacob, what is give me an example of a living thing.
Living thing. Molecules?
No.
No. Animal.
Animals. What kind of animal?
Cat.
A cat. All right. So let's go with a cat. All right. So there's a cat. All right. And now, Emilio, give me an example of a non-living thing.
Let's see. I think grass is non-living.
No, grass is a living thing. Someone
Oh, let me
over
see.
here. Yeah, grass is a living thing because it's a plant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me an example of a non-living thing.
Let's see. I forgot what's non-living.
Well, what
Paper.
that?
Paper.
Huh?
Paper's non-living.
Paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, paper is a good one. How about your toys? What's your favorite toy when you were growing up?
There's a Spider-Man toy.
Spider-Man toy? So like a Spider-Man doll?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Spider-Man. Spider-Man doll, right? Okay, it was made out of plastic basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a non-living thing. It's not living, right? So basically the big thing that you need to understand is this concept of matter, okay? And matter is just a fancy word for anything that takes up space. So make sure that you write in your notes, okay? Make sure you write in your notes that matter is basically anything that takes up space. Okay? Write it down. Anything that takes up space. Takes up, I know it's hard to read, space. Okay? And so things that takes up space can either be non-living or living. Okay? So that's the big takeaway at the beginning of the video. Okay? Now, Jacob, from your biology class, who was your biology teacher back in the day?
I think it was Cantu.
Cantu. Okay, so Cantu, I know he talked to you about this. So what are cats and what are living things made out of? Like a cat and grass. What are those things made out of?
I can't remember.
Yeah, you can. Emilio, what's cats? What are cat and grass? What are they made out of?
Cells.
Cells. Very good. Write this down, Emilio. Okay. Okay. So they're made out of cells. Very good. All right. Now, what are cells made out of?
Micromolecules.
Ooh, yes, that's right. That's right. Macromolecules, but we're not going to get that specific right now. So we're just going to say
Molecules.
molecules. Very good. All right. And now, Jacob, what are molecules made out of?
Atoms.
Atoms. Very good. Exactly. Right. And so that's the idea. That's the big takeaway for today is that Okay, things that take up space can either be living or non-living. Okay, the living things are made out of these things called cells, and these cells are made of these things called molecules. How do you make a molecule? Well, by putting atoms together. Now, non-living things, okay? What are non-living things made out of? Like a Spider-Man doll.
Pencil.
Yeah, a pencil. What's a pencil made out of? Or a Spider-Man or dolls made out of?
Plastic.
And what's the plastic made out of? Look at the screen.
Atom.
Molecules.
Molecules. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and molecules are made out of
Atoms.
atoms, exactly. And so basically what I'm trying to tell you is all matter, whether it's living or non-living, is made out of molecules.
Molecules.
And those molecules are made out of
Atoms.
atoms.
Atom.
All right, in the video you learned about 4 specific types of atoms. Okay, what's this atom right here?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen atom, very good. Now Jacob, just you, okay? Jacob, what's this supposed to represent?
That is. Oh, here. Is it oxygen?
What is it?
Oxygen?
Uh-uh.
No. I should have. Yes.
Look at your
Methane?
notes.
Yeah. Some methane.
No.
Uh,
Come on, Emilio. What does this represent?
Carbon.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. This is nitrogen. Write it down in your notes. How about the red one? What does the red one represent?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. And the black one?
Carbon.
That's
Carbon. Very good. Carbon atoms. All right. So now all of a sudden here we have 4 atoms that I talked about very specifically, and you guys better know the names of these 4 atoms for the quiz today. Okay, what these represent. Now, when you put atoms together, you get things that are like this. What are these?
Molecule.
This is a molecule. Jacob, what's the name of this molecule?
That's carbon dioxide.
No. What atoms are in this molecule?
Oh,
Let's go with Jacob on this one. Jacob, what atoms are in this molecule?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Hydrogen and oxygen. How many hydrogens?
2.
2, exactly. So in my notes, I'm going to put over here, okay, 2 hydrogens. And how many oxygens?
1.
1, exactly. So this molecule, we call it a H2O molecule. And these molecules make up water. You see what I'm saying? Water is non-living. All right. So that's what I mean by atoms come together to form a molecule, and then molecules come together to form non-living things like water. Like 1 drop of water has billions of these little guys. Okay. So you guys need to understand this concept of molecules make everything. Okay. Molecules make up everything that takes up space. Now, let's talk about this next concept from the second video. What do scientists try to understand? What are scientists always trying to understand?
The natural world.
The natural world. Very good. Okay, so write that down. Natural. I'm going to write it down here. Natural world. So the scientists are trying to understand the natural world. All right, got it? Okay, now think about it. What's the natural world made out of?
Matter.
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 And what are the two types of matter?
Living and non-living.
Exactly. And so as scientists, that's what you guys need to understand is scientists are trying to understand the natural world. So therefore, it's important for us to understand this concept of matter because that's what natural world is made out of. So scientists, and more specifically, this is what scientists are trying to do, okay? They're trying to study, and I'm going to put a heart to represent this. They're trying to study the relationship between living and non-living matter. For example, does grass need water?
Yes.
Yes, right? So how did scientists figure this out? What do they have to do?
Do an experiment.
What do they have to collect?
Data.
They had to collect data, that's right. And in their data, they figured out that what's the relationship between plants and water? Like let's say plant growth. What's the relationship? So more water, the more the plants grow, the less water, the less the plants grow. What is it?
More water. No.
More water
More
means
plants.
more
More growth.
more plants, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So more water, right? The more the plants grow, right? So
Right.
that's what scientists figured out by collecting data. They figured out this this relationship that exists between grass or plants and water. What's one relationship right now that everyone's studying? All the scientists like are trying to study. A lot of scientists are trying to study.
Coronavirus and
Exactly, the coronavirus. The coronavirus, what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out, right? Let's go with a different color this time. Let's go with green, right? So the coronavirus, right? Did you guys know, what do you think the coronavirus is? A living or non-living thing?
living.
This one's tricky.
The living thing.
No, it's a non-living thing. It's right on the border. So the coronavirus, okay, I'm gonna put corona right here. Corona, okay, and I'm gonna draw like a diamond to represent it, okay? All right, the coronavirus is a non-living thing. And so what's the relationship that we know so far? The coronavirus goes into our cells and kills our cells. That's what it does. And so what are scientists trying to learn? They're trying to collect data to understand how we can make how we can protect ourselves from the coronavirus. And if they don't collect data, they're not going to understand this problem and we can't solve it. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's what this is about. Eventually, okay, what's happening is the scientists are going to come up with this mystery molecule that we don't know what it is yet. All right, and this mystery molecule is what they're going to give us to protect us from the coronavirus. All right, but we can't come up with that solution unless they're collecting and studying this problem, okay, collecting the data so that they can figure out the solution to this relationship. All right, what are the two types of data? Because there's two types. You guys remember?
I think.
For the quiz, you're going to need to know these two types of data and what are the differences. Okay, so make sure you go back to the second video and make sure you listen to it. It's kind of like in the first half. It's not at the end, it's in the first half. Yeah.
Isn't it quantity and quantity and quality?
Yes, you're close. You're close. You're close. Jacob, you want to give it a try? Should be in your notes. That's why we take notes. All right. Type it in the chat if you figure it out, okay?
Okay.
But you need to know what these 2 types are, and you need to know the difference because that's going to be on the quiz as well. All right? Any
Okay.
questions, concerns on this, guys? All right, cool beans. All right, so now here's where we're gonna do now. All right, so what we're gonna do now is if you guys can please go to